We have one goal: to interview the best in sports, to meet the biggest names and find out what makes them tick, and the St. Louis athletes who move the needle with their compelling story. I'm Frank Cusimano, and this is Sports Plus.
Those are the magic numbers. This is why Seattle has the advantage. If Seattle wins and they score more than 34 points and allow Vegas to less than 34, Seattle will go to the XFL playoffs over St. Louis.
Good evening and welcome into Sports Plus. And don't worry, you don't need your calculators just yet. We'll get to all that Battlehawks playoff math in just a moment. First, we have to talk about the Cardinals and deal with some more unsettling math. Coming into Sunday, the team only had 2 quality starts from their staff through 21 games. Jack Flaherty was trying to get to that third elusive quality start on the mound today. And so for tonight's main event, we head to the Emerald City for the series finale. Hard to start a game better than this against the Mariners. Lars Nootbaar sends the first pitch from Chris Flexen out to right, Noot's second bomb of the season. This guy's been hitting dingers with no problem this year. Nolan Gorman, another huge swing, 3-run shot to put the Cards up in the 4th, 6 homers, 22 RBIs for Gorman so far. Jack Flaherty was good and was also jawing with the Mariners a bit back and forth throughout this one. 6 innings, 3 runs, 9 Ks for Jack. And how good is this to see? Paul DeJong back from Memphis right into the lineup and doing some damage. 3 hits for DeJong, including that solo shot. Cardinals win 7-3 to salvage a game in Seattle.
Yeah, I feel like I've been taking pitches that I should take and swinging at pitches I should swing at, and just looking for those mistakes in the middle, and I put a few good swings on it today, and we just take it day by day, understand it's April, we got a long way to go, and not to get too far ahead of ourselves, and just have fun competing with each other each day and day in, day out, and we'll see what happens at the end of the year.
3rd and goal from the 15 for McCarron on a record-setting day. More! Battlehawks ain't done yet. A 400-yard game for A.J. McCarron.
Now to those Battlehawks. And the spoiler alert, there will be no playoffs for our XFL darlings this season. Despite a 7-3 record, the Battlehawks will be watching from home as Seattle and D.C. meet in the north and Houston and 4-6 Arlington meet in the south. Where's the justice there? Here's how it happened. You know, the Battlehawks needed some help from Vegas today. They didn't get it as the Vipers put on a clinic in ineptness. It did look okay for a little while. Seattle missed this field goal at the buzzer. It was just a 6-0 game at halftime, but Vegas couldn't even score touchdowns properly today. Matthew Sexton is about to cap off this long TD late, but he celebrates too early and he's going to fumble. No touchback in the XFL, but still, Seattle wins 28-9, and by rule of the 5th tiebreaker of total points for and allowed, they are in the playoffs at 7-3, and St. Louis is out at 7-3. The Rock needs to fix that whole playoff setup for next year. Just saying.
This 5 on your side St. Louis City SC coverage is sponsored by Together Credit Union.
But still here, Jonathan Lewis. Rubio strike! And a leaping catch from Berkey.
City SC earned the first tie in franchise history last night thanks to keeper Roman Berkey. He made a career-high 12 saves, which was the most in a single game for any keeper in the league this season. They finished 1-1 against Stan Kroenke's Colorado Rapids. Earlier this week, I sat down with the leader of this on-field success, head coach Bradley Carnell, to see how his experiences have shaped his team. Let's go back home first, South Africa. Tell me where your passion for soccer, your love for soccer, when did you first know this was going to be your life?
So my family had a little broader upbringing with a lot of players passionate about the game. A lot of family members are passionate about the game, and in my brother's team and my cousin's team, I was the mascot. I was the little kid in front of the team photo with a ball that was just about as big as me. And ever since then, I had a ball at my feet.
What kind of player were you on the pitch, and is it similar to the kind of coach you are?
So I was growing up, I was a little bit tenacious, but big speed, big technical quality in the amateur ranks, and I finished off a lot of final plays. So I was like a left winger. I don't want to compare myself to anybody, but my role model was John Barnes. former Liverpool during the late 80s, early 90s, through that era. Yes, I brought a bit of bite, I brought a bit of fight, and I brought some technical, transitional quality, I would say that. And obviously you try and get your team to play a version of you. When I got to Germany, the guys, I was on trial, I hadn't signed a contract. They called me a pit bull because I was just snapping at the heels all the time and just almost like this relentless, never give up, never say die attitude. And I think that's just one of the things. I never go away easily, whether it's I play ping pong, tennis, or chess, or what. I'll never go down easily.
Long career, a lot of different places, but is this the most fun you've ever had in soccer?
I've always had passion, I've always enjoyed what I do, and for sure this is great. I mean, to take on a challenge like this, and that's one of the things. Everyone said it's the worst job in the world to take on an MLS expansion team. It's the most dangerous, the worst job in the world. Everyone I phoned, everyone I took guidance from, they said don't do it. I was like, yes, now I want to do it. That's why I want to do it. It's just my nature to learn how to swim in a deep end, and I think that's got me through 3 different countries, 3 different continents, different cultures, different lifestyles.
Couple quick word association. I'll give you a name. Give me a word or a couple of words about this person that immediately comes to mind. Wow. Klaus.
Klaus. Teddy bear.
Leuven.
Business.
Berkey.
Berkey, quality.
Lutz.
Artist.
Carolyn Kindle.
Passionate.
Up next, he's one of the greatest athletes our town has ever seen. But Albert Pujols is not missing baseball in retirement. Not at all. We'll hear from the Sheen after the break.
Yeah. That's what you call.
That's touch him up.
That's barreling him up, right? Barreling up right there. That was sweet, brother.
Well, the swing that produced the 4th most home runs in baseball history is now right at home on the golf course with all the other retirees. Albert Pujols took his athletic ability to the Celebrity Classic in Texas this weekend and finished tied for 24th out of 40. Not too shabby. Our Frank Cusimano talked with the happily retired Pujols earlier this week.
And it's a pleasure to welcome Albert Pujols, who's playing in the Celebrity Classic down in Texas. Albert, how is the golf game? How are you playing right now?
Well, I'm playing great. I mean, just something that I love. I love the game of golf, and just being back here, getting invited to this tournament is super pumped up, super excited. This is some of those events, that I obviously, because my career I wasn't able to do, and now that I retire, I'm able to attend to some of this event, and I'm really excited about it.
I know your son AJ is a terrific player who plays in college. Who wins when you play against each other now?
Well, we go back and forth. I think he's a better player, but I think mentally I'm mentally tough, so I'm beating in the mind before we even get to the tee box.
So, Albert, you're used to playing in front of the world in baseball with everybody watching you. What about in golf with a lot of people watching you now? Do you feel any pressure?
Not really. I think it's something, that it's just have fun. I think, your first tee shot, probably tomorrow it'll be a little nervous. But then after that, it's like, hey, I've been here before. Just like baseball, your first start out of the season. I mean, after 20 years of playing the game of baseball, I still get those goosebumps. I still get those butterflies,
What's it like for the first time in like 25 years to wake up and not think about that night's pitcher, not think about hitters' meetings and training?
Pretty awesome. I'm going to tell you like what Sean Johnson told me after he retired. He's like, Albert, I'm sleeping like a baby right now. I don't have to sleep and thinking about, wow, a slider, 0 for 5, and all that stuff. So, no, it's been great. This is something, obviously it was an amazing career. I'm so blessed that the Lord gave me ability and talent and keep me healthy, for the majority of my career to be able to reach those goals. I mean, 23 years as a professional, 22 in the big leagues. It's a long career, I'm so blessed. And, with the support of my family, with the support of so many great fans, back in St. Louis and Anaheim and California. I mean, it was just an amazing career. And I'm just glad to be able to close it out last year in St. Louis where everything started for me. I was so blessed to go back I enjoyed it, and now I get to do the other part of my life, which is travel and here and there, going to spring training with the Angels and helping the young players as much as I can.
Do you watch Cardinal games at all, or do you look at box scores?
No. To tell you the truth, Frank, I haven't sit down and watched a baseball game probably since the postseason last year. I don't. I think, and that's something that when you play the sport, it's like, it's not that I don't have the time. It's like, oh, I'm not interested about it. But I watch the highlight here and there. Obviously they have a slow start, but I think they're gonna put things together. They have too many great players and too many talent, in that clubhouse not to figure out. And I know people in San Luis probably are panic, what happened with the Cardinals. Guys, this is only 15 games into the season. You still got 5.5 months, and I think they're going to put it together.
The amazing thing about your season, and you mentioned this on Albert Pujols' day, you said there was a time during that season where you thought maybe I shouldn't be playing. And then to have it end like it did, absolutely stunning, wasn't it?
Yeah, those are things that obviously go through your head, but at the end of the day, it's not like I'm going to throw that towel. I think I made a commitment to the Cardinal organization. I think this is something that I was fighting with the Lord every day, just asking God, like, why am I here? And I think he showed me once again, you need to be patient. It's not on your time. It's on my time. And obviously, his time is perfect, not mine. And he knew it before I even knew it that I was going to finish strong like I did, over the last 3 months of the season and helping, the ball club to get to the postseason. So I think at the end of the day is that be able to control the things that you are able to control. And it's okay, to get frustrated a little bit in this game, but I think at the end of the day, I was able to make the adjustment. I was able to get the at-bats that I needed, was playing more constantly in the game, and I was able to have the success,
Final thought, what would Albert Pujols most like to be remembered for?
Just a great, strong Christian guy that loves the Lord, and just use the talent to play the game of baseball, but most important, give back to the community, because at the end of the day, I think we all have responsibility on giving back, and that's something that I'm able to do through the Pujols Family Foundation, which I'm blessed to have a great group of people that, a great team that honors that.
He's passed Babe Ruth, second all-time in history in runs batted in. A historic blast, number 703.
Quinn Snyder and the Atlanta Hawks trying to even up their series with the Celtics. The game was tight in the fourth quarter, but some favorable bounces for Boston. Marcus Smart will drive. Ball goes off the defender's foot, tracked down by Jason Tatum. Shot clock running down, no problem. Tatum deep three goes down. Boston's lead is 12. A little bit later, follow the bouncing ball. Jaylen Brown starts with the ball, then he will end up with the ball as he jams it home. Celtics go up 3-1 the final, 129-121. The seemingly inevitable has happened in Colombia. Mizzou star Kobe Brown has declared for the NBA draft. The forward averaged nearly 16 points a game for the Tigers this past season and is keeping his eligibility intact. So if the NBA projections aren't to his liking, he could come back to Como for one more year. Now, getting wisdom from those who have done it before can be crucial to reaching that next level of sporting excellence. Well, St. Louis has a boxer who has been there before, and he has quite the impressive protege. Frank Cusimano has more in tonight's Spotlight story.
It's a tiny little building in East St. Louis, but Flash Gym packs a lot of punch on the inside. This is 57-year-old Arthur Flash Johnson, who got the nickname from a broadcaster at the Goodwill games.
There he is, Arthur Flash Johnson. He can hit you with about 6 punches in one combination.
Arthur Johnson was promoted by Don King and trained by Hall of Famer Angelo Dundee. He won his first gold medal at the Goodwill Games in 1984. 4 years later, he made the Olympic team. Johnson was the first American boxer to win 11 amateur titles. Boxing taught him life.
In terms of being able to pick myself up, because boxing is so much like life. There are times you're going to get knocked down in life. And there are times that you get knocked down in boxing, so do you stay down or do you get up? And so for me, it's always been getting up.
After his career ended in 2003, about a decade later, he opened up his club. He's put on tournaments for years and trained over 100 fighters because he wants kids having a purpose.
I don't like what I see in our society in terms of our young people not having something positive to do with themselves, not having goals to shoot and look forward to go out and dream. As a kid, I was a big dreamer, and I think young people should be busy dreaming. I think young people should be busy going after goals.
The one who has a goal now is 19-year-old Daniel Nolan. He's a 5'8", 130-pound lightweight.
Boxing out of the red corner from Flash Boxing, we have Daniel Nolan.
Just like hitting people, honestly.
And he does it well. Nolan just won the local Golden Gloves tournament. Next month, he'll try to win the National Golden Gloves tournament. If he gets to the finals, it's on to the Olympic trials.
There you go, up and down with it, up and down.
And apparently, Daniel has his trainer's workout.
Time.
Boxing is a hard sport, so if you ain't putting the work in, you're not gonna see the results you want. So when you put the work in, you get the results you want. So that's just goes into life itself too.
Good work.
Arthur knows he has something special here. And he will use every ounce of boxing passion and knowledge to get Daniel to where he once was.
I believe that he definitely has the ability to represent the United States on an Olympic team. I think the greatest thing that you could ever do as a person that has had success is to duplicate yourself.
And there are some similarities with these boxers from the East Side. And even though they're separated by 38 years, they can both still devour that speed bag.
We're gonna take this thing one fight at a time, one step at a time.
One already was a champion.
We're gonna keep it going, man.
And the other could be on his way.
All right, good stuff, man. We'll see you. All right, good stuff.
Old friend Matt Carpenter is playing for the Padres this season. He didn't get off to a great start, but heated up this weekend in Arizona. Today he delivered this shot to dead center, good for 2 runs, and later on he added this home run and then another RBI double you're going to see here in just a second. 5 RBIs today as San Diego wins 7-5. Time now for the well first health, frankly speaking, and a note about a fan base St. Louis can surely empathize with. The Athletics are heading to Las Vegas, the 3rd franchise Oakland will lose in just the last few years. The A's are shipping out thanks to an owner who ran the product into the ground, resulting in an empty stadium and eventual relocation, all to chase that money. Sound familiar? It's not the fault of the fans, though. A's fans are some of the craziest and most loyal in baseball. They just happen to also win the owner lottery in hell like we did with our Rams. I know it hurts, Oakland, but you're not alone. You can join us Rams, San Diego Chargers, and Montreal Expos fans in the support group. We meet on Sundays. That's our show for tonight. With producer Andy Moeller, I'm Corey Miller. Have a great night, St. Louis.
Great to see this, though, on the first day back for Paul DeJong. High fly ball. That's hammered deep left center field. Rodriguez back. It is gone. Paul DeJong with a 3-hit return has gone deep in Seattle. Paul DeJong is probably floating around the bases. You know how good this feels. You know how hard he has worked to get back, to get healthy, to produce at the big league level. And his 3rd hit of the day.
We are signing off for